I'm Heath Lambert. You're listening to Marked by Grace, a podcast applying the grace of Jesus to all of life. Welcome to Marked by Grace. I'm Heath Lambert. I'm so glad to be joining you this week on this edition of the podcast. This episode is dropping. It's releasing on September the 29th, which is the day before September 30th, which is the day my new book releases called The 10 Commandments, a short book for normal people. I'm so thankful to be holding a copy of this book in my hands, and I want you to be able to hold a copy of it in your hands. You can go order it on Amazon if you want to get it there, but it's also possible still for you to pre-order a copy of it by going to fbcjacks.com/10 commandments. That's 10 commandments, T-E-N commandments, not 10 commandments. fbcjacks.com/10 commandments. And the reason you should go there to pre-order it is because when you do, you'll also be able to download a free chapter of the book, which I hope you really find helpful. In honor of the release of the book and in a celebration of the 10 Commandments, right now I'm privileging answering your questions that you send in about the 10 Commandments. And this week you sent in a really good one. Really intriguing one. And I wish I could meet the person who asked this question. Here it is. Can I make fun of my parents? I really want to hang out with you and talk with you and find out what's going on here. Can I make fun of my parents? And the reason you're asking the question is because you want to make fun of your parents, I guess. So you're hoping you could make fun of your parents, but you're wondering because you've been reading the Bible, you've been thinking about the 10 Commandments, and you know that the Fifth Commandment is creating trouble for your desire to make fun of your parents. The Fifth Commandment says in Exodus chapter 20, verse 12, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. So you got this commandment. You got to honor your father and your mother. You got to give them weight. That's what the word honor means. You got to give them weight and regard and reverence and respect. And if you do that, you get the promise that the Lord is going to bless your life. And so you, my friend that I don't know, you're hoping there's a way to honor your father and mother and make fun of them. And so you're asking, can I do this? Okay, so here is my very careful answer to the question. Can I make fun of my parents? It depends. It depends. So let me walk you through 3 scenarios, and we'll talk about how making fun of your parents intersects with the command to honor your father and your mother. Okay. One context where you might make fun of your parents has to do with a situation where you are making fun of your parents and they are enjoying it. Okay, so you make fun of them, they are making fun of you, and everybody is having a great time. We're teasing one another, we're laughing, we're having a great time. This, by the way, sounds a lot like my living room. So my kids make fun of me all the time about everything, about my hand gestures. They're probably going to make fun of me for things I'm saying on this podcast. They make fun of me for the jokes that I tell. They make fun of me for the way I say things. They make fun of me for some of the things I say. They make fun of me for the way I look. And here's the thing. I love it. We have a great time. I make fun of them too. I mean, we have a great time together. We laugh a lot. And I actually, thinking about this question, I cannot remember a time when my kids ever made fun of me and I felt dishonored and disrespected. I've felt loved. I feel like we have a close relationship. I feel like it's a good thing to be able to laugh together and enjoy one another's company and be able to like, hey, Dad, you're doing something a little funky there and it's funny and I'm going to be honest about that. I think that is a good thing and I love it. So there is a context where you could make fun of your parents in the sense that you're making light of something humorous that they do. They enjoy that. You're laughing about it together. And the command to honor your father and mother is not at stake in that. There's just, we're loving each other and having a great time. So that's the safest bet. If you're making fun of your parents, you love them, you mean to honor them, but you also mean to laugh, and they like it. Yeah, you can do that. That's a good thing. It's probably a really happy place to be. There's another context. You are making fun of your parents. You do not intend to dishonor them. You love your mom and dad. You respect them, you appreciate them, but you want to make fun of them in the same spirit as I just talked about. You just want to make light of something, you want to laugh about something, and you do it, but your parent or parents does not enjoy it. Okay, now we're starting to get into trouble with the fifth commandment. Okay, what you intend to be funny, what you intend to be lighthearted, if that is received by somebody else in a dishonoring, mean-spirited sort of way, then we have a problem. We might not know what the problem is. There are a couple of options for what the problem might be, but at the very least, we've got a problem and we need to figure out what it is. Maybe your parent is being too sensitive. Maybe you are not being sensitive enough. But one of the rules that we always had in our family when our kids were coming up, one of the things we said all the time is, if you're the only one laughing, you're wrong. Like, that's just all there is to it. Doesn't mean there's nothing to talk about. Doesn't mean there isn't a problem to solve somewhere else. But if you're the only one laughing, you're wrong. And we need to figure this out. And so maybe your parents do need to lighten up. Maybe you need to sober up, but we need to have a conversation about this. And we need to be able to say things like, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, I love you. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. Hey, how come sometimes when I say these things, you laugh, sometimes you don't? How come that hurt your feelings? I don't want to do that. That would be an exercise in honor. You should not just plow through with humor, even when it's well-intended by you, and so dishonor your parents because they don't appreciate it. Third context is the most obvious, and this is where you are making fun of your parents. And unlike the other two contexts, you do not mean to make light of something. You're not doing it in love. You're not doing it in fun, but you're actually annoyed with your parents. They're driving you up a wall, and you mean to belittle, to demean, and to dishonor. And that is the spirit of your horsing around. That is wrong. That is a clear and obvious violation of the Ten Commandments. It's a clear and obvious violation of the Fifth Commandment. We are not ever allowed to dishonor our parents. That doesn't mean our parents are always correct. That doesn't mean they never need to grow in wisdom. That doesn't mean you never have the job of correcting them, ever. That doesn't mean that. But it does mean we don't try to tear them down with humor. It does mean we don't try to make fun of them as an effort to belittle them or demean them or dishonor them. There can be humor, but that humor needs to be an exercise in love. It needs to be an exercise in making light of something. It needs to be something that we enjoy together, and it should never, ever be a dart that dishonors your parents. So can I make fun of my parents? Well, it depends. What you can never do is dishonor your parents. But there are ways in a healthy and a strong and a happy relationship for you to be able to have joy and humor and even to make fun of your parents and still honor them.